You mentioned earlier, Charlie, that you've been in tech for 40 years, which is, to me, is absolutely incredible. I love that. That's amazing. So looking back, what are some things that you think have changed the most about the tools and the landscape in general? And what, in your opinion, really hasn't changed at all about using technology well?
What's changed everything? Like everything. Look, let's just start that when I was a teenager, we had a phone that was hooked to the wall or sat on a table and it had a cable. Um, you didn't know who was ringing you.
Right.
If you wanted privacy, you would just hope that you had a really long cable on the handset so you could go and sit in a cupboard or up the hallway so that you could talk without everyone else hearing that conversation. Because those phones were in the shared space of the house. Now we've got a phone literally in our hand every day. We can
Right.
tell who's calling. We can screen our calls. We can decide to answer them or not. Now, that's actually had a slightly detrimental effect in that it's with us all the time. So we now have that feeling of, oh, we've got to answer this. We've got to, there's that feeling of urgency and that feeling of obligation. Um, and that's changed for us because, you leave the house, if the phone rang, if you were lucky enough, you had an answering system, an answer phone, a little device with a cassette tape. I don't even know if your listeners will know what a cassette tape is these days.
I know. I think about that too sometimes because I had a pager when I was in high school, and I talked to
Right?
some of the kids today, and they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Payphone. What's that? What was that like?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"My
yeah, yeah,
goodness, wow."
yeah. So,
They
so yeah, if we just look back to, what did we have as kids to what we have now? I can literally travel Australia. I can work from my car. I drop a small little dish out the side of it. I connect to Starlink, and I've got connectivity wherever I am in Australia. That wasn't physically possible. You couldn't do that. You left the house, you had no way of being communicate. You couldn't communicate with anyone who wasn't physically with you at that time. Um, Computers. And now I'm trying to think of what the statistic was or what the metric of it was, but the computer that was used to send the astronauts to the one that did the moon landing, was something like a 16th of what our mobile phones have today. Bugger the computers. Mobile phones are like 16 times, 20 times, and the metric might be wrong, but they are just so much more powerful than that computer that put astronauts on the moon. So there's this sorts of things that we're looking at. Everything has changed. I say everything has changed in that it's now it's just there within our life. It's endemic within our life. You can't go out and you want to use your washing machine. Well, it's got a computer in it now.
yeah, I know.
It's
It's
it's got
amazing.
electronics in it now. It used to be
Yeah.
your washing machines. For people who are listening who are really young, or not even really young, but for people who are listening, our washing machines used to be you had a dial and you'd have to crank the dial, and it was literally a mechanical thing that would set the timer, would set the. We didn't have very variable water levels. It filled the washing machine. You made sure your washing machine was filled with washing because it would fill with water anyway. Didn't matter
Right.
how much you had in there. A mechanical thing would tell it how long to run for. So your programs were pretty much just time based, and it would set little dials to do it. We didn't have the electronics in our things today. I mean, when you hear people, when you hear Gen Xers and boomers say, I would give anything just to have a machine that didn't have electronics in it. We lived like that. And
Yeah,
honestly, those things worked. They just worked.
they
And
did.
if they failed, we could get someone in to fix them. It wasn't a case of they fail now and we've got to wheel them out and wheel in a new one. Um,
Yeah.
so it's endemic in what we do. Yeah, we've got our microwaves, we've got our air fryers, we've got our my goodness, video cameras in the houses, ring doorbells. It's all there. That everything has changed. Just everything. What hasn't changed? First principles. It's failed. It's not working. I need to make this work. How do I do it? We still go back to the same things we were doing 40 years ago to troubleshoot it or to bring things up and make it work as we do today. That
Yeah.
to me hasn't changed.